Hi, I'm Beck and I'm a property investor.
And I'm Daria. I own my own home and I'm curious about investing.
We're the hosts of Investors in the Wild.
We've heard it all before. Build your wealth, get expert advice, learn about high yield, high growth investments, blah, blah, blah.
That's just not us. We're real mates with real talk about real estate. No ego, no financial advice.
It's all about wins you can use right now.
Let's get into it. Hello, we're back for another episode of Steve Says, where we take you to inspections with my dad, Steve, and give you a behind-the-scenes look at how investors weigh up different properties so that you can get ideas of what to look for when you're inspecting. And the good news is we've got a Steve Says checklist coming soon. We get a lot of feedback saying, can you put this all down in writing so that we can print it out and take it to inspections? Ask and you shall receive. We're working on it. Before we jump into this week, I should mention that we know most listeners prefer to listen to the podcast while they're driving, walking, and just doing life. The Steve Says episodes have a fair bit of video content. We like to make it feel like you're in the inspections with us. So switch on the video when there's something that you want to see the look of. Now, you'll be thrilled to hear that this week is not another week of consistent 2-star ratings. We've got 3 properties and all scored pretty well, which is fantastic because I felt completely uninspired after last week's inspections. We were in 2 suburbs, Newtown and Lilyfield. The first 2 places are in Newtown. Let's get into it. First place, 5 Margaret Street, Newtown. 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, no car spots, guiding 2.4 mil and 126 square meters. It was on a very quiet street and there was so much parking on the street. It was really lovely to walk into. I mean, who doesn't have a soft spot for bookcases and old fireplaces? It's just so lush to walk into. And then you keep walking through the house. You get the kitchen just here and you step outside and this area is just a really great outdoor area. Here's what Steve had to say.
Very nice entertainment, really.
It is nice, isn't it?
Very a lot of privacy.
Yeah.
All privacy.
Yeah, it is completely private.
Really
isn't
busy,
it?
even if you cover this up.
Yeah, it's quite nice, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
This area, it's a lot of space, a lot of greenery, a lot of privacy. Then we go upstairs to the bedrooms. The bedrooms on the middle floor are quite big. Bonus fireplace in one of the bedrooms, nice built-in robes with a lot of mirrors. Bathroom had a big fan and a window, extra points there for ventilation. And then on the 3rd floor, you had a gabled roof. Oddly, 2 of the places this week had gabled roofs. But this place, the gabled roof was used for these really clever cupboards. You just had fantastic storage in this bedroom. We loved it. What we didn't love, there was no dedicated car spot. We know from the Rebecca and KJ podcast episodes that you really need to think about who you want to buy the place next. And families and older people really want car spots. They want to minimize the time and effort spent driving, looking for a park, and then walking from the park to the house. So not having a car spot really doesn't appeal to families and older people who are on the market. I also didn't like that this place didn't have a bedroom or bathroom on the bottom floor. I really want a bedroom and a bathroom on that lower floor so that when our parents stay with us, they're not having to go up and down steep stairs. And this place, unfortunately, didn't have a bedroom or a bathroom downstairs. On the contrary, it was a 3-story house. There were so many stairs. Some of them were super narrow. Steve mentioned it several times. Steve also didn't get a good feeling about the bathroom.
Oldies have a look here. I've got a feeling. It's just too dry.
While it looked super dry, you could see signs of water damage and mold. The floors on the middle level needed to be sealed. They had plenty of gaps in the wood. There was no aircon in the middle of the house. In Newtown, you're not really near any water. You need aircon. And then I thought it was a little bit random that the stairs and handrails would be painted white, given they'd then show a lot of dirt. Back to the narrow stairs. I wonder why they painted these stairs.
White,
Yeah.
because it's dark.
Okay. And it lightens the place up.
What colour does?
So it makes sense. It brightens the space, that's fine, but still, it's going to show a lot of dirt. White stairs, you're just going to be perpetually cleaning them, like, wouldn't you? All right, so Steve, star rating for this one.
Too many stairs. It's the stairs, the 3 levels, and narrows.
What was your star rating for the place?
So 3.
Nice, but just too many stairs.
Too narrow.
3 stars. Now, believe it or not, this was the lowest rating for the week. We keep going up from here. The next place was just down the road, 14 Laura Street, Newtown. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 car spots. Now, normally I wouldn't pay a lot of attention to a place with 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and 2 car spots because you can't really add a lot of value. I've been hoping to find a place where we can add a bedroom or a bathroom, but my boyfriend was in charge of organizing the inspections this week, so we went. This place was a lot larger than the previous house. So Margaret Street was 126 square meters. The next place, Laura Street, is 227 square meters. So 100 square meters extra. It was guiding 2.5, right? So let's just do a comparison. The first house, Margaret Street, 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 126 square meters, no car spot, guiding 2.4. Then you've got the next place, Laura Street. They've put it as guiding 2.5 mil. But we're talking about first place, 3 bedrooms versus Laura Street, 4 bedrooms. First place, 1 bathroom versus Laura Street, 2 bathrooms. First place, no car spots, Laura Street, 2 car spots. First place, land size, 126 square meters. Second place, 227 square meters. And yet Laura Street's apparently only guiding an extra $100,000, which is just rubbish. This is underquoting a guiding price if I've ever seen it. Let's keep going through the place because it's actually quite nice. Firstly, fantastic area. This street is on the intersection of Newtown, Marrickville, and St. Peter's. So you've got a restaurant and entertainment haven meets another restaurant and entertainment haven meets another restaurant and entertainment haven. It's amazing. They also all are on separate train lines, right? So when there's one train line being worked on, you can always jump on another one. This house is super close to Marrickville Metro, which every local seems to rave about. It's a really big shopping centre. Everyone I mentioned Marrickville Metro to is like, oh my God, Marrickville Metro, you're close to Marrickville Metro. Oh my God. So it's close to Marrickville Metro. If you know, you know. And then it's Newtown, so it's close to restaurants, shops, schools, cafes, everything you basically want. What else did we like? It's on a cul-de-sac. There's always a bit of a premium for being on a cul-de-sac. That's another reason why it just doesn't make sense that this is guiding 2.5 mil now that I think about it. Cul-de-sacs are just known for being much more family friendly. There's less traffic going through the street. There was plenty of parking both on the street and in the garage. Huge back area. Like, check out the size of the entertaining area above the garage alone. This is me and Dad standing on top of the garage looking out. There was just so much space up there. Now, if you ask my boyfriend, he says there's heaps of space if we wanted to add a jacuzzi back there. If you ask my dad, he has said there's heaps of space. You can add a studio back here. Clearly, very different priorities. God knows what I'm going to end up choosing. Actually, I'm going to go to the studio. Let's talk about the house itself. I haven't actually spoken about the house yet. The house was beautiful. So much light. They had these skylights along the side of the living area, which was really lovely. The rooms were all big. The main bedroom had a nice leafy aspect that looked out to a community garden, which was behind. Big bathrooms. Really good entertaining area at the back. You've got your kitchen, your dining, and your backyard. And we really love to entertain, and this house would just be perfect for entertaining. It also ticks the box in terms of having a bedroom and a bathroom downstairs for our parents when they stay with us. So really great, really livable place. Let's talk about what we didn't like though. Let's start with the price. I like a price of 2.5. That is doable for us. However, I genuinely think there's just no way it would go for 2.5, especially given the first place Margaret Street was guiding 2.4. And remember, this was a few Steve Says episodes ago. 11 Trade Street, Newtown, the place that was all red with splashes of blue at the back. 11 Trade Street, Newtown sold for 3.05 million. And it was a 4-bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car spot. And the car spot was so tiny, like you could only fit like a little Picanto in there. So you compare it to this place, which is closer to Newtown, 2 bathrooms, 2 big bathrooms as well, 2 car spots. There's no way it's going to go for 2.5 mil or even near 2.5 mil. Another thing that I wondered, this place backs onto a school. So I don't know if it would be noisy during school hours. Maybe. I don't know. If someone lives near a school, let me know. There were also these weird twirly things on the roof in the bedroom. Does anyone know what they are? We were also unclear on where the washing machine and dryer will fit. Even though the laundry is in the bathroom, that door doesn't open all the way. So how do you get to the washing machine and to the dryer? Dad also doesn't like the carpet. Fair enough. And he's also worried about a bit of mold that he found in the bathrooms.
Close to shops, close to restaurants, cafes.
Yeah.
Great location. Quiet street. Plenty of parking. Lots of light. It's good. You want a place with light. You know you're not going to get mold. A nice entertainment area at the back. The garage is very well built. So if you got all the piers, they've got the piers there. And even if you put a ground for like a studio apartment, I reckon you can do it. But it all depends on the council.
So did you like that place, Dad?
It is nice.
What's your star rating?
I'd go for about 4 on it.
What
A 4
didn't you
star.
like?
Look, I don't particularly like the carpet. Apart from the carpet,
The bathrooms you didn't like either.
well, I just think most likely the bathroom will leak. Some of the tiles you can see like there's a bit of mold. That's look, you know what? For the bathrooms, I'm telling you, you've got to expect these things. It'll cost you up to $1,000 to reseal it again. Less than that.
Yeah.
But things like that, you've got to look into it and say, okay, why is it so dry? So the amount of light are very impressive.
It's pretty good. 4 stars. I mean, that's the first 4-star rating that Dad has given in a couple of weeks. So that really shows how good this place was. Steve does not give away these 4-star ratings easily. But like I said, it's going for way more than 2.5 mil. So we'll see. All right. Last but definitely not least, our third and final place for the week, 140 Cecily Street in Lilyfield. 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car spot, guiding 2 mil, land size 167 square meters. I'm actually going to reverse the order for this, talk through what we didn't like first. The first one was there was a gabled roof. The whole second floor had this gabled roof. And what it meant is that in the main bedroom was huge. Look at the size of this bedroom. This is enough to be 2 bedrooms, which appealed to us because then we can turn it from a 3-bedroom to a 4-bedroom. But with the gabled roof, there's just a lot of wasted space. About a third of the room isn't usable because it's, about yay high. Plus, it'd be annoying if you go to the bathroom in the night, you hit your head on the roof. It's just really not ideal, this roof. Now, remember the first place we went to and I spoke about the storage? I'll flash back to the storage in Margaret Street. You could put similar storage in this room. And then we were thinking, maybe we actually raise the ceiling. Like, surely it would be lucrative to raise the ceiling, turn that master bedroom, which is the size of 2 bedrooms, into 2 bedrooms, but you've got to raise the ceiling. Otherwise, you can't turn it into 2 bedrooms when there's just so much wasted space. Then a local came and talked to us when we were inspecting the place. And she proactively said it is one of the strictest local councils in Sydney. They are very committed to maintaining a certain look and the heritage of the area, particularly that street. And so, without us even saying anything, she was quite clear that we would not be able to make any changes that impact the exterior of the house, which, of course, wiped our dreams of raising the roof of the house and making that extra bedroom. There were a few more things that we didn't like. First, there was a constant sound of traffic. Yeah. Very steep steps to get into the house. Dad really didn't like the steps. He struggled with the steps that were very hard on his knees. I remember what came up in the Rebecca podcast episode, not me, the investor Rebecca, where she was talking about stairs becoming increasingly less popular as the population ages, and these stairs were a punish. The atrium looked a bit cheap, and then the backyard had a few huge birds of paradise plants. I don't know if you have seen a birds of paradise before, but their root system is hectic. I'll show you some photos. Basically, the roots form these dense matted root balls. They're the kind of root systems that can literally break pots open. They are hectic. And these ones were huge. They'd be very painful to remove, or they will push over that retaining wall eventually. Okay, now that I've said all of this, let's listen to what Steve said about the place.
I'd say this is one of my favourites.
This is one of your favourites?
It is, I think. Yes, it's a little bit noisy here, but you've got parks.
Yeah.
You can walk. You've got the trains there.
All right, so are you ready to see why? First, Dad loves a good bargain. And remember, the first place, Margaret Street, guiding 2.4. The second place, Laura Street, guiding 2.5, but that'll go for well over 3. And then this place, Cecily Street, guiding 2 mil. Dad loves a bargain, loves a cheap place. And also, if we can get something for 2 mil, it gives us wriggle room and space to improve the property and not be mortgaged to our eyeballs, which I would not recommend for anyone anywhere ever. This house is also really close to the metro, which makes it very easy to get into the city. You're surrounded by parks, walkways, and water. There are bike trails that start meters away. There were bikes when we turned into the street, so many people on their bikes riding around. It was really sweet. These little families, like, little duckling families, little biking families, just zipping around. It was very cute. The greenery also just creates a very nice leafy aspect from the backyard. More things that we liked. Check out this entertaining area. You walk in, there's just a lot of light because of this atrium. I mentioned the atrium before. Yeah, it looks a little bit cheap, but it's throwing light all throughout the dining area, the kitchen, the living area, and it makes for really good entertaining space. Now, the kitchen is plain, but that's a plus for us because it can be redone and redone well. Like I said, a lot of sun in the back, both in the entertaining area and in the bedroom upstairs. We'll take you upstairs in a minute. Very nice open backyard. I really liked the size of the backyard. Now, keep in mind the car sport would need to fit back here, but even then you've got a lot of space to make that backyard really low maintenance, but still pretty. I touched on the main room before. Yes, it's annoying because of the gabled roof, but it's huge. Look at the size of this. It's such a plus to have a bedroom this size, and it could easily be split into 2, which straight away would turn this into a 4-bedroom rather than a 3-bedroom home, and you've just created a lot of value from that. Now, the second bedroom, I touched on this a second ago. It has these big windows, and when you look out the windows, you've got views of the city, which makes me think, imagine if you could create a really nice balcony out there, and then you've got this beautiful room with city views. In summer, you can sit on the balcony with a glass of wine, enjoy the city lights twinkling. It'd just be so pretty. This place also passes the parents test in terms of having the bedroom on the downstairs floor. There was only a WC downstairs as well, which is better than nothing. I really liked that this place gave us a lot that we can improve on, including a new back fence, the kitchen, the atrium, the laminate floors, and who knows, maybe we could play around with space and create a more sizable bathroom downstairs. Here's what Steve's thoughts were.
What do we like?
Yeah.
The rooms, plenty of light, very nice entertainment area at the back. You've got a lot of sun at the back. You've got a nice backyard too. It's got potential. Look, the only thing I didn't actually like is the steps at the front. Apart from that, I thought the house, it's really nice. As long as there's potentials, you can move things around, which you've got enough room to move things around in there. And if you get it at a good price, well, you've got extra cash for renovation. Like I said, apart from the front steps, I think it has a lot of potential. I think it's a nice house. It is annoying the way they've built it. So you're looking at the difference between Newtown and this one.
So what's your star rating for that last one? 140, Cecily.
I'd give it 3.5. 3.5 tops, yeah. Like I said, I think the front and the way the room is, apart from that, you're never going to get everything perfect. That's the thing. Like the one in Newtown, so you guys are saying that'll go through 3 mil.
I think it will go for more than 3 though. So 3.5, not bad. But keep in mind, it's about $1 million cheaper than Laura Street. Laura Street was 4 stars. This place is 3.5. But Laura Street's probably going to hit 3 million. This place is at 2 million. Maybe it'll hit 2.2. Now we're out at a wedding next week, so we won't get to attend the auction for Cecily Street, but I'll let you know how it goes. And we'll be back a week after that for more Steve Says. Wish us luck. Hello, it's Beck. If you thought this episode was valuable, please help others to find it by finding us on Spotify, dropping a rating or review, or just sharing it with a friend who would find these stories relatable and insightful. And if you're an investor with insights to share, hit us up on Instagram at investorsinthewild or email investorsinthewild@gmail.com. After all, we're all mates helping each other. And if you're a hopeful investor, we would love to hear from you. Reach out with feedback, questions, or topic ideas. It would be great to hear what you want to see behind the investing curtain. Talk soon.